Hey everyone, it's Jeannie, and today I am sharing this slimline card that I created using Ink on 3's newest stamp set called Little Birdie. I'm using it alongside Trinity Stamps' Hip to Be Square die set. I thought that die looked really cool as a window pane and part of a house, and so I kind of wanted a scene that the bird and the flowers were outside of a house looking into a window. So I'm stamping most of the images from the stamp set using Ink on 3's Blackout ink, and I'm going to be stamping some of the images multiple times because I really wanted a full flower with a ton of leaves, and I ended up stamping a few more items than I really use on the card, and that's okay. For today's coloring, I am using the Karin watercolor markers. I actually had looked up how to say the name of these, but the YouTube videos had a person with a British accent, and I didn't really get the right pronunciation. I could not do her pronunciation of them, so we're just gonna go with Karin because that's what I've heard. My instinct wanted to go with Karin because it was easier, but I do want to pronounce it correctly. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments below. I just don't know. Sometimes with these products, they have interesting names and I sometimes just can't pronounce it. For my coloring, I did choose 3 colors for the flowers, and I chose a dark pink, a medium pink, and a really bright neon pink. I did swatch out all the colors once I got these markers. I really wanted to try them out because I do like the zig markers, but they are very light, and so when these came to the market, they were really bright and intense. I didn't buy them right away. I just recently got it maybe last month, and I've been playing with them and I like them. I just wanted to try different methods of them before I really start using them in videos, just because I think a lot of the times that I've used them so far, it's just been trial runs and hoping that they turn out well. But I think that this card was pretty good. I don't get the same kind of details, but I think it's because I'm using 3 colors and blending them together with a wet paintbrush. So even though I'm using a dark color, a mid-tone color, and a light color, I think I might have put too much pigment on the paper. I am blending using Bristol Smooth paper, and that is really helpful because it has that slick surface that everything blends really well on. I had tried it on Nina Solar and it didn't really blend that well, and of course with Nina Solar paper you don't really put water on it, and that's probably why. I've also tried it on Canson XL watercolor paper and I liked how that looked as well, but I really wanted to try Bristol Smooth since these pens are very similar to the zigs and the zigs work really well on Bristol Smooth. I thought that that would be a good choice. I think I just have to play around with it a little bit more because I do like the contrast that Copic markers gives because you can add those dark colors as well. I do like these markers. I have a tendency to jump on the bandwagon, but I've been a little bit more cautious about purchasing things that I'm not going to use, and I really want to just show things that I use that I really like. So for these images, I'm not going to be showing the coloring for all of them because some of these are duplicates. So I'm just going to show you the flowers, the leaves, and then the bird, and then we're just going to speed past that to the card. So as I'm doing this video voiceover, I am staring at my nail polish color because it's this pastel orange color that's very spring and summer-like, and I had totally not intended to do that to my nails. I had this old set of nail polishes that are gel, and the color on the label is actually this burnt orange brownish color that was more of the fall feel, and I really wanted to paint my nails in a fall color. I am doing the whole gel nail polish and I get to the color and I pull it out and it's this pastel orange, and I already was like, well, maybe it looks different on my nails. It did not. It came out this color and I don't mind it. It's just very not with the season, and I really wanted a fall nail polish to go with it. I invested in this new gel system and I really like it because I can do it at home. I've always done my own nails. I've never really gone to the salon. I just am very picky and particular, and if I don't like a particular color or like how it's painted on, I will remove it immediately, and I just don't want to go to the salon, be that picky person, and I might as well do it myself because I'm so used to it. So anyway, that's the story with my nail polish colors. I know that you probably didn't even notice, but I keep seeing it while I'm watching this video, and I wanted to share. For the background of the card, I'm using that Trinity Stamps Hip to Be Square die set, and I wanted to fill in most of the dies by doing a die inlay, and it's because I thought the top portion would look like a window that you're looking into, and then the bottom is just like the side of the building. I lost the footage for how I added the color to the little squares, but it's the same color as my die cut. I just went in and added Hickory Smoke Distress ink to all 4 sides just to darken it up to give it a bit of dimension. And for the top portion, the inside of the window, I used the Sweet Petunia pink and ink blended it all over the top. I did very simple ink blending. I don't know what happened to the footage. It just totally disappeared off my camera. For the die cut itself, I did want to pop it up because I wanted to give it additional dimension. So I use these Darice foam strips, and Darice is a company that has a bunch of crafty supplies, but I think they are no longer in business. So I'm kind of bummed out because these foam strips are so helpful, especially like in this situation where I would normally have to cut down my foam tape and it would never be this thin or straight. If you can still find them, I recommend you get them. I stocked up on quite a few of these. I might do another purchase just so I can ensure I have more in my stash. Once I have the die cut placed onto my background, the bottom portion kind of looks like you're outside, and then the birds are looking in the window with the pink background. So I thought that that would look really pretty with this particular stamp set. I'm popping up everything on foam because I had added foam to that die cut background, and I didn't want any of the images to be sunk in. So I have a foam tape behind everything that I'm placing. For the flowers, you'll notice that I have 2 of the large flowers, but I didn't use it because I really just wanted it to look like they were outside, and this flower just happens to be the one that you see in this photo, and I really wanted it full. So I'm adding the little florets, the extra leaves, and just filling up the space at the bottom of the card. And by doing so, I made this card very bottom heavy with images, and I only have that one bird and a branch up there. So I eventually will go and add another bird, and for that second bird, I do a mirror image of it because I didn't want the same bird to be looking the same direction because I thought it would be a little bit weird. By using a mirror image of that bird, it kind of looks like they're either looking at each other or just looking in 2 different directions, and I thought it gave the card more balance. I'll walk you through how I do the mirror image, but if you've watched my videos before, this is my technique of doing mirror image. Mirror images is just being able to stamp your image and having it flipped, and that way you can get more from your stamp set. Companies like Ink on 3 have a stamp that is a solid stamp, and you can stamp it on to the little stamp and then place it onto your piece of paper and essentially transfer the image onto the paper. For me, I just take a piece of acetate and I'll tape it down because stamps tend to want to pick up your acetate. So once I stamp it on the acetate, I'll just flip it around and press my fingers against that image so it will transfer to the piece of paper. My technique kind of ends up with a very light image transfer. It's never crisp, it's never perfect, but I will go in with a Copic friendly pen and outline the entire image. Usually I'll only do this with images that aren't super detailed. The bird isn't super detailed. I think its tail is the only very detailed area, but it was very simple to do because they're straight lines. And if you're okay with this, this is an easy way of doing the mirror image. You can pick a piece of packaging, just cut up the piece of acetate and use it for the mirror image. But I really think that that fills up the space on the slimline card. Otherwise, it would be kind of empty, even though I am adding the sentiment to the middle area of the card. For the sentiment itself, I wanted to use the same pink color that I used for the flower. So I'm putting down that color on my scrap piece of Bristol Smooth paper using a wet paintbrush and just blending it out so I have an ombre background for my sentiment. I will go ahead and stamp the sentiments directly on there with Ink on 3's Blackout ink. I thought that it would really match and it would also pop nicely against that gray paper that I am using. It's very spring-like. It's not like autumn or fall or winter at all. But you know what? My nails are very summery and spring-like that it just matches the card that I am creating. So I end up trimming down the smaller words into a strip, and then for the sending, I'll actually go ahead and fussy cut right around it just because I thought it looked a little bit nicer. What do you think? Do you think that that second bird was needed? I thought it just looked a little bit empty and I really wanted it there. Regardless, I think that it really filled up the space. To finish off the card, I wanted to add a few iridescent embellishments all over. I tucked it behind the flower, behind the sentiment, added it into some of those empty squares, and that finishes off the card. I hope you enjoyed this card. It's very summery. It's kind of a break from all the Christmas cards you might be seeing, and I will see you guys next time for another video. Bye!